안녕하세요. 오늘 이렇게 만나뵙게 돼서 반갑습니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
네, 조병철 학생이 이번에 프린스턴 학교에 학자금 전액 장학금을 받고 입학을 하게 됐다는 소식을 들었거든요. 일단 축하드리고요. 그리고 학교 소감을 좀 말씀해 주시겠어요?
제가 얼리 액션 준비하고 있었을 때 같은 시간에 케임브리지하고 스콜러십 시험 준비하고 있어가지고 되게 부담이 많았어요. 그게 시간도 별로 없고 많이 힘들어가지고. 그런데 소식을 이제 듣자 기다리고 이제 소식을 듣자 이제 정말 기뻤고요. 이제 서서히 이제 그 실감이 나면서 정말 감사한 마음이 생겼죠.
그러면 이번에 준비하면서 가장 어려웠던 점이 뭐예요?
아마도 처음에 그 에세이 토픽을 정할 때 되게 다양하고 정확성이 없는 그 질문이어서 뭐라고 말해야 할지 몰라가지고 정하는데 되게 오래 걸리고 많이 실패하면서 해봐야 됐어요. 그것도 힘들었고 이제 그거하고 이제 저의 깊이 생각해야 될 그 시간들은 제가 릴렉스하고 쉬고 그런 시간인데 그 시간이 많이 빼앗기고 이제 공부로 아니면 에세이 쓰는 거에 막 차고 그러니까 되게 부담 많고 힘들었어요.
그러면 이번에 어떤 주제의 에세이를 쓰게 된 거예요?
주로 음악에 관련된 거였어요. 그래서 제가 음악을 어떻게 좋아하고 얼마나 즐거워하고 제가 오케스트라 같은 거에서 할 때 어떤 느낌이 들고 그걸 표현하면서 제가 솔직히 볼 때 별로 방향이 없지만 그래도 좋다니까.
뉴질랜드에는 언제 오셨어요?
제가 2개월 때 가져가고 이민 왔어요.
2개월 때요?
네.
그러면 여기에서 초등학교도 다니고
네.
중고등학교를 다 다녔겠네요.
네.
학교 생활이 어땠는지 좀 설명해 주실 수 있으세요?
초등학교는 그냥 편했죠. 뉴질랜드니까 그게 별로 부담이 없고 그냥 편하게. 근데 제가 집에서 그냥 한국어를 배우고 영어 별로 못하니까 그때는 제가 학교에서 좀 생각이 힘들어가지고 익숙을 좀 하면서 했지만 그래도 빨리 따라잡고 이제 지금은 한국어보다 영어가 쉬워요.
지금 재학 중인 고등학교는 어디예요?
지금 이제 오클랜드 그라머 스쿨을 이제 졸업했고요. 네.
그럼 학교에서 특별히 특별 활동?
네.
그건 하신 건 없고요.
오케스트라하고 심포니 오케스트라, 챔버 오케스트라하고 그래서 음악적인 그것도 하고 그리고 그냥 이것저것 해서 이번에부터 고등학교 시작할 때부터 제가 수학 올림피아드를 많이 하고 있었고 그래서 이제 작년하고 재작년하고 작년이죠. 이제 아이몰 나가게 됐고요. 그래서 그거하고 또 3년 전에 시작한 브레인비 컴피티션 그것도 쭉 따라하면서 재작년에 대회 나왔고 그리고 이제 그걸 끝나고 나서 이제 다른 학생들을 같이 겪어야 될 학생들을 이제 도와주고 제가 아는 걸 이제 좀 베푸고 이제 좀 더 다양한 언더스탠딩을 좀 도와주기 위해 제가 하고 있었어요.
그러면 다룰 수 있는 악기도 있으신가요?
네, 제가 옛날에 피아노 치다가 이제 그레이데이 끝나고 이제 레슨 안 하고 이제 연습도 별로 못 하고 그랬는데 그리고 이제 바이올린도 그레이데이까지 하고.
피아노하고 바이올린.
네.
무조건 공부만 하신 건 아니에요. 그러면 고등학교 생활에서 가장 지금 생각하면 이 추억에 남는다? 이것이 고등학교 생활에 있어서 가장 좋았던 것이 있다면 어떤 게 있어요?
저 아직도 정확히 모르겠어요. 아직도 졸업했다는 게 실감이 안 나서 근데 나중에 돌아보면서 이제 알게 되겠죠.
그러면 학교에서 가장 좋아하는 과목은 어떤 과목이 있어요?
제가 학교 다니면서 항상 그 수학하고 그 과학 과목들을 되게 좋아했는데 하나를 고른다면 그 물리학을 가장 좋아한 것 같아요. 그게 간단하게 수학적인 원리하고 그냥 되게 간단히 어떻게 물질들이 그렇게 서로 그 인터랙트하고 그런 거를 이제 공부하고 이제 수학적인 걸 이제 원리를 이제 대입하면서 그게 그 연관이 돼가지고 되게 저에겐 좋았어요. 그 세계가 이제 어떻게 돌아가고 그런 식으로.
보통 후배들이 이제 후배들을 위해서 말씀을 해주시는 거예요.
네.
후배들이 이제 공부를 하면서 나는 아무리 공부를 해도 능률이 오르지가 않아. 뭐 내가 어떻게 해야 효율적인 공부를 할 수 있을까 고민을 많이 하는데요. 조병철 학생만의 특별한 학습 방법이 있다면 좀 소개를 해주셨으면 좋겠어요.
제가 그 정확한 그 학습 방법이 없지만 그리고 그렇게 좋지 않은 때도 많지만 저는 그 고등학교 2학년부터 계속 해온 게 그 외우는 것보다 그 이해하는 거를 훨씬 더 집중적으로 하면서 그래서 저는 학교에서 배우고 이제 뭐 이것저것 찾아보면서 알게 된 거를 제가 혼자서 뭐 손으로 쓰든 이제 컴퓨터로 쓰든 이제 그 노트를 제 개인적인 노트를 써요. 그래서 그 인터넷 다양한 곳에서 그리고 뭐 교과서 학교에서 선생님이 준 노트 그런 걸 다 교합해가지고 그 제 단어로 제 혼자서 그냥 그 단어를 바꾸고 이제 제가 혼자 노트 쓰는 그 과정에 제가 그 배우고 외우는 것보다 제가 실제로 제가 배우고 그 이해하는 그게 되게 도움 많이 된 것 같아요.
그러니까 혼자 학교에서 배운 걸 정리하면서 노트를 다시 만들어가면서 그 과정에 배우고 이해를 하게 됐다는 말씀이시죠?
네, 근데 단어 그냥 똑같이 쓰지 않고 제가
그러니까 본인만의 단어로 또 다시 만들고 굉장히 말하자면 학구적인 거예요.
네.
그냥 뭐 배운 대로 외우는 것이 아니라 그거를 이해를 하고 내 것으로 만들어서 내가 받아들일 수 있도록 하는 그런 거. 굉장히 좋은 학습 방법일 것 같은데. 지금 이 시간에 내가 프린스턴에 가게 된 내 도움을 많이 준 사람들이 있다면 어떤 분이 어떻게 도움을 줬는지 좀 설명을 좀 해주세요.
시작하면 이제 당연히 부모님과 가족이 많이 도움을 줬고 그래서 제가 그 에세이 쓰거나 뭐 그럴 때 그 Financial Aid 그런 애플리케이션을 그 책임해주고 그래서 제가 그거에 부담 안 해도 되게 도와주고 그리고 이제 제가 학교 공부를 하고 이제 시험 같은 것 때문에 이제 그 편안히 할 수 있게 많이 도와주고 그래서 뭐 제가 노스쇼에 살고 학교는 시티에 다니니까 이제 거리가 멀고 그래서 엄마가 아침에 많이 차를 들려주고 그래가지고 엄마 많이 고생했고요. 그리고 이제 아이비 플러스에서 이제 빅터 리가 이제 저에게 많이 도움을 줬어요. 그 원서 쓰는데 그리고 그래서 제가 에세이 쓰거나 이제 원서 써가지고 이제 뭐가 부족하거나 뭘 크게 바꿔야 되는지 작게 크게 바꾸든지 친절하게 제가 부담 없이 제가 그냥 주고 그리고 그거를 이제 되게 그 원리를 설명해서 이게 왜 이게 안 좋고 이걸 왜 바꿔야 되는지 그걸 잘 설명해 주는 게 저에게 되게 맞았어요. 그리고 이제 그 원서 준비하면서 이제 CV를 이제 만드는 것보다 자기가 되게 좋아하는 거를 갖고 좀 더 훈련해 오면서 그게 어프로치가 저에게 되게 예, 제가 되게 좋아했어요, 그걸. 그리고 그거 말고도 이제 제가 제 믿음이 좀 있어가지고 제가 힘들고 그럴 때 이제 하나님이 많이 도와주시고 그것도 되게 큰 네. 이렇게 노력하지 마.
그럼 교회에서도 뭐 악기를 다룰 줄 아니까 어떤 봉사도 하거나
네.
그런 게 있나요?
네. 요새 이제 시간이 되게 부족해가지고 이제 부모님이 이제 좀 잠깐 그만두라고 말씀하지만 뭐 악기를 연주하거나 뭐 그 체리티 같은 거, 그 봉사활동, 그리고 그 양로원에서 양로원 가가지고 매달 그 도와주고 악기 연주해주고 그런 것도 되게 저에게 좋은 경험이었어요.
그러면 프린스턴 학교에서 에세이만 잘 쓰고 모두 원서만 잘 썼다고 들어가는 건 아닐 텐데요. 그거 외에 또 어떤 것들을 했다라고 같이 써서 제출한 것들이 있다면 어떤 활동들에 대해서 소개를 했는지 좀 말씀해 주세요.
저도 정확히 잘 모르겠어요. 저 한 번밖에 안 내가지고. 네. 근데 그게 그 원서를 보기 좋게 만들어내는 것보다 자기가 정말 좋아하는 걸로 그렇게 하는 게 제가 보기에는 가장 잘한 방법인 것 같아요. 그래서 저는 뭐 과학적인 거 그런 것도 되게 좋아했고, 그러면서 이제 그거에 관련된 활동도 하고, 이제 노숙자들 이제 제가 많이 도와주고 싶은 마음이 지난 몇 년 동안 생겼어요. 그래서 그걸 이제 하다가 제가 Habitat for Humanity를 제가 찾게 됐어요. 그걸 이제 이걸 찾고 알아내고 정말 제가 좋아하는 그 아이디어를 내서 제가 이제 그걸 갖고 학교에서 그 새로운 모임을 시작해가지고 이제 그걸 자주 가고 도와주고 그런 역할을 했는데 그것도 이제 그래서 자기 패션에 맞는 걸 찾아가지고 그렇게 하면 그냥 되겠죠. 몰라요.
지금 노숙자들을 돕고 싶었었다고 얘기하셨어요?
네.
그 노숙자들을 돕기 위해서 구체적으로 어떤 걸 했는지 설명해 주실 수 있어요?
그게 지금 큰 문제는 이런 노숙자 그런 거의 문제가 너무 크고 문제가 너무 크고 도와줄 사람들이 너무 적고 도와줄 수 있는 방법이 너무 적어가지고 최소한 그래도 조금씩이라도 도와주는 게 좋을 것 같아가지고 노숙자를 만나게 되면 그 얘기하고 그냥 빵 같은 거 사줘가지고 이제 그냥 한 끼 먹을 수 있게, 그리고 그냥 제가 보기에는 같이 얘기하면서 그냥 사랑해 주는 게 그게 가장 중요한 것 같아요. 네.
그러면 다른 친구들도 조병철 학생이 하는 활동이 뭐 같이 해보고 싶어 이러면서 같이 동참한 학생들도 있어요?
제가 원래는 이런 걸 이렇게 자랑하지 않아요. 이거 인터뷰이기 때문에 제가 있는 건데, 그래서 그냥 비슷한 패션 있는 학생들하고 만나가지고 가끔씩 그렇게 하고 싶죠. 시간이 되면.
네, 아까 말씀하실 때 자기가 가지고 있는 패션, 그러니까 열정이 있는 거를 선택을 해서 하는 것이 가장 중요하다고 했잖아요. 그럼 조병철 학생이 가지고 있는 열정은 어떤 거예요?
말하다시피 이제 집이 없거나 돈이 그래서 되게 부족한 사람들을 도와주고 사랑해주는 그런 게 제 마음에 되게 와닿고요. 그리고 그 외에서도 이제 음악적인 거, 그리고 수학 같은 거, 뭐 그런 거 다 다양하게.
그러면 장래 계획과 희망, 그리고 앞으로 포부가 어떤 게 있는지 말씀해 주세요.
저는 이제 공부해가지고 이제 졸업한 다음에 아마도 계속 공부하거나 연구 쪽으로 들어갈 계획이에요. 제가 그렇게 저에게는 연구가 되게 좋을 것 같아요. 그래서 제가 혹시 그 의사처럼 완전히 거기 들어가지고 실제로 그렇게 하는 것보다 저는 의사들이 쓸 수 있는 도구들, 그래서 병원에서 쓸 수 있는 다이그노스틱 툴 아니면 뭐 수술할 때 도와주는 거, 뭐 그런 거는 제가 그게 그렇게 쉽게 발달되지 않겠지만 그래도 그걸 발달할 때 하게 뭐 발자국 하나라도 더 하는 게 제 꿈인 것 같아요. 그래서 특히 공대 아니면 바이오메디컬 엔지니어 아니면 그냥 메디시널 엔지니어, 메디시널 리서치 그런 쪽으로 들어가고 싶어요. 그래서 그냥 조그만 그룹에서 같이 일하고 그게 좋을 것 같아요.
자, 그러면 이제 내가 뉴질랜드에서 프린스톤에 가는 학생이잖아요.
네.
내 후배가 나를 따라서 나와 같은 대학으로 왔으면 좋겠어요. 그 후배에게 이렇게 해서 나하고 같이 프린스톤에서 만나요라는 그런 어떤 메시지를 남겨주시죠.
네, 그러면 일단 후배들한테 그 격려해주고 싶은데 이제 많이 이제 힘들고 이제 고통이 많을 건데 그 중에 그 정말 그 계속 하고 그 실패해도 이제 그게 다 뜻이 있으니까 그 실패하면서 더 배우고 더 강해지고 더 강하게 나갈 수 있는 거를 그렇게 있길 바라요. 그리고 뭐라든지 그 즐기고 이제 힘들지만 이제 그걸 좀 더 밀고 끝까지 하면 이제 그게 잘 되니까 네, 화이팅!
My name is Victor Lee. I am a graduate of Princeton University and I'm also the director of IB Plus Education. So here we help students achieve their dreams and go to universities of their choice either in the United States, UK, Australia, Hong Kong and many other places in the world. We've had really good success for the past couple of years and I think this year has been the best. So one of our students, Byung-Cho Cho, has recently been admitted into Princeton University, early action. So that doesn't actually happen a lot. In fact, the last person that has done that was his brother was also in the university, so it's a lot easier for him to get in. But for Byung-Cho, it was a really big surprise actually that he got into Princeton early action instead of just regular. Let me just talk about Byung-Cho for a sec, then we can switch back to my company. But for Byung-Cho, he became my student in October 2012. At that point, I could see that he was excelling in all areas academically. He was already, in the International Mathematics Olympiad team. He came top of New Zealand in academics. So everything about his academics was top notch. So as a university consultant, I knew that he had a good chance. I mean, he was probably in universities such as, Brown, Cornell, or even Dartmouth. Those universities he would have gotten in no problem, like very easily. However, of course, he didn't want that. He wanted even the best university, actually the #1 ranked university, which is Princeton University. And so basically I worked with him. I looked at his areas on what he was good at, what he was weakest at, and crafted his application and put a central theme on it so that it would appeal to the admission officers. When he came to me, I think the strong point of what he had was his academics. So clearly we wanted to continue that on. But the weak point of what he had was just from just brief interaction with him is that his extracurriculars, the things that he did outside of school, was a little bit lacking, and perhaps he could also improve on his, the interview skills, and also he at that time did not have a lot of ideas on what to write about in his personal essay. So as you know, apart from good grades, there's a lot that you need to get into university. So I would say the biggest 5 components would be your SAT score, your academic grades, your interview, your extracurricular activities, and your, what's the last one? And your personal essays, okay? So out of those 5, Byung-Cho was actually, he had probably 3 of those covered already. His SAT score was pretty high. I think he retook again after a little bit lessons from me, and he did improve his score, but not significantly, but it was enough. It was already over 2300, so that was fine. But we wanted to create one big service project for him in Auckland Grammar School in his year 13 because he had no big projects. And so my company really specializes on finding something that the students really love to do as well. In fact, most of the organizations that my students participate in or become leaders in are affiliated with my company. And so I had a really good relationship with Habitat for Humanity for the past few years because when I was AIC, I was actually treasurer of Habitat for Humanity. And so I was able to push him to a regional coordinator of the organization so that he could start his own chapter at Auckland Grammar School. So of course Byung-chul is a very effective leader as well. So with my instructions, he was able to form the group in under 2 weeks, and that I think is pretty amazing. So he has extended this. He had recruited around 40 students from Auckland Grammar School to attend regular builds in South Manukau. And then most recently, he's even organized a trip for a group of boys to go down to Christchurch to rebuild after the aftermath of the earthquake. So it's this kind of things, these kind of big service projects that are impressive to the university admission officers. Okay, because everybody is really good at SATs and grades, and you know, Byung-chul is top of Auckland Grammar, but what about the top of King's, top of Westlake, top of all there's so many talented kids in New Zealand. Okay, so all the ones that we know is other just people in Auckland, but what about the people in Wellington and Christchurch? They're getting to apply to these universities too. And so to be able to differentiate yourself from all of the other competition, you need to have an edge. You need to have something that you're really passionate about. You need to have something that you do to dedicate a lot of time and effort in. So what does my company do? We help students do that. Because for students, it's really hard for a 17-year-old to know what they love. What I can do is I can give the students 5 options. And within those 5 options, they can choose a certain option that is good for them. Okay, so for my other current students, so I have another student who got into University of Pennsylvania, so I helped her to establish the North Island Chess Championships by herself. Okay, she was already really good at chess, the youngest woman FIDE master in New Zealand, but she was also lacking in service. So that's something I find again and again, the students are very good at everything except for community service, because they don't feel like that's important. And of course that is not important for New Zealand and Australia or even the UK, but it's very important for the US, Korea and University of Hong Kong. Okay, so with her, I got her to contact the New Zealand Chess Federation, and then we organized the North Island Chess Championships, which over 84 students attended. So that was the first North Island Chess Championships for girls, for primary and intermediate kids. Okay, and then we kind of crafted her entire application around this, and that she was advocating for youths because she felt like in a lot of opportunities in New Zealand, there are not a lot of female opportunities. And she advocated for that, and she talked about this in an interview as well. So we craft the application to one central theme, and that comes up again and again, and then that shows passion. It's not enough to say, oh, look, I'm really passionate about something. It's much better to actually show it, yeah? Show that you're passionate. Okay, so what my company does right now is that we have a consulting system for most likely year 12 and year 13 students. And most recently, I have collaborated with Epsom Institute of Education, EIE, to form a consulting program especially targeted for Korean students. So it's been customized to be most effective for Korean students wanting to go to America, and also for Korean universities such as Seoul National University and KAIST and other great, and Yonsei, those kind of great universities like that. So what happens is that students can come at the age when they're year 7, 8 or year 9 even. And we look after them over the period of high school. So if they need tutoring in certain subjects, we find tutors for them. If they need SAT help, TOEFL help, we can help them that. And the most important thing, the most thing that we distinguish ourselves better than all of our other competitors and all the other organizations, not only in New Zealand but in the world, is that we provide a system that is customized. Okay, we provide a package that is customized for the students, what the student need. Okay, so we know that not all the students will need help in academics, and not all the students will need help in leadership. Yeah, but we provide the help for students, okay, and what they're lacking. For example, if your child is very shy, okay, just within 3 or 4 years after us, he'll be a completely different kid. Okay, he'll show leadership skills because we will push him and force him into situations where he needs to step outside of his comfort zone, and that he needs to become someone more confident and more of a leader. Okay, so if your kid is really not so great in so volunteering, he doesn't know where to look, we can find opportunities for him to volunteer outside of school. And if you start, because university, they're not just looking for volunteering in the last 2 years, they're looking for volunteering throughout your high school from year 9 to year 13. Okay, so in the common application, the application when you apply to universities, there is 10 spots for activities. You need 10 different activities. Most students that are my students, they have more than 10. They have 10 plus they attach another 2 or 3 sheets of activities that they do. So this is what we help. Okay, and a lot of the activities, it's not the fact that you need to do it well, but you need to just do it. Most students right now in year 9, year 10, they're sitting at home playing computer games, doing things like that. They're not out in the world. They need to experience society more. And of course, as parents, we know that parents are usually always very busy with work. It's really hard to know what the kid should do. And so my company and the program that we form with EIE really helps students to discover their potential. Because we believe that students, they must be good at something. We will find what they're good at and we will develop that area the most. There's no point in doing something like you don't love, doing something that you're not good at. Okay? Like many other teachers or like even consulting agencies, they'll tell you, oh, you need to play a sport, you need to play a music. But that's not the case. You need to do what you love. If that thing what you love is music, then fine. Then keep on doing music. Do the best you can in that activity. Of course, universities, they're not looking for quantity, they're looking for quality. Yeah? So you want to do something really well to an even city or a national level, and we can help you on the journey for that. So I guess I can talk a little bit about some other of my students and what they have achieved. So for this year, this is my first year in New Zealand. Before this, I've been working in America and China in this industry as well. So in the last few years, we've helped students get into Harvard, Yale, basically all the schools, all the top schools. But this year, the first year in New Zealand, it's got a very good result. I think it's the best result that not even any organization has had, but any school in New Zealand has had. So I would say that the admissions that my students got, okay, is more than any other mission for the rest of New Zealand. Okay, so let's talk a little about my students. One student, she wants to get into business. Okay, so I said, okay, let's try for the University of Pennsylvania, the best business school in America. So I knew that her grades wasn't good. Her SAT was only 2,000. Okay, to get into University of Pennsylvania, you need 2,300. So I knew that there must be an easier way, and there is an easier way. To get into business school, you don't apply to the business school, you apply to the College of Liberal Arts, and then you transfer to the business school next year. So that's what we're doing for her. And surprisingly, she actually got in to University of Pennsylvania with only around 2,000 SAT. That has never happened before in the history of admissions for UPenn. Okay? So of course, it wasn't her grades that got her in. What was it? It was what she does in her extracurriculars. And there was another student. Her top choice university was Brown. And I knew that I had to help her get into Brown, right? So, but then her SAT was also around 2,000. So I knew that I had to do something, okay? So she was really good at art. So I helped her craft her portfolio to send to the university, and also at the same time to enter the Young Designer Awards, okay? And after all this mentorship and all this guidance, because I have employees working for me that are at University of Auckland doing architecture, doing art, so they know how to do this kind of I guess portfolio management. So because of that, she actually came first in New Zealand in the Young Designers Awards. And then also I helped her start a Model United Nations club at her school because that didn't exist before. And because of that, she actually got into Brown. She was one of 3 students in New Zealand to get into Brown, okay, with a 2,000-ish SAT. So imagine that, okay? This kind of admissions is not normal. It's very unique. It's never happened before with this kind of SATs get into such great schools. Another student I want to talk about is one of my students who is actually Maori. Okay, so he's the first Maori student to get into Ivy League or Stanford because of academics. Okay, that's never happened for her. His SAT was only 2,200, but then he got into Stanford. Okay, because I really helped him establish this musical program for his school so that they can volunteer to teach underprivileged kids how to play the piano and violin and things like that. He also, with my help, joined orienteering, which is a sport that not a lot of people do, so that he was able to represent his school in the national championships. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what sport you do. You can do something that's really strange. So I'm teaching one of my kids to fly the plane, because not a lot of students do that, right? Because if you're really, then it's much easier for you to become the best of that. Okay, so he got into Stanford, and then another student who's also from Auckland Grammar, I think Byung-cho's friend, he wanted to go to Cornell for architecture because Cornell is the best for architecture, and then I made it happen. His SAT was around 2,100 to 2,200, but it's just, he came to me with 2 weeks left, and he's like, I want to get into Cornell. And I'm like, well, what we need to do is craft your application so that it is irresistible to the admission officers. So what I did for him is that for architecture, there's a huge emphasis on portfolio. Okay, you cannot get into a school for architecture or art without someone knowing how to do your portfolio for you. Okay, so I really helped him. I chose the pieces that he did for portfolio because myself as a photography major as well. Okay, I did majors in photography, Chinese, economics, environment. I did majors in everything basically. Anyway, so I also have employees who can help with the portfolio as well. So and then the final thing is the interview questions. So Cornell, they have interview questions because they can't interview you because it's so far away. They actually email you the interview questions and you reply to that. So I helped them a lot in that, crafting responses that exactly what the university want to hear. And how can I do that? Because I am actually an interviewer for Princeton. So what I can do for the students, of course I can't interview my students, then there will be a conflict of interest. But what I can do is I can do a mock interview with the students that are exactly the same as the real interview, so they know exactly what to expect. Okay? Of course the questions will be a little bit different, but it will be mostly the same. So things like Byung-Chul, I helped him with the interview I think 2 or 3 times. Okay? He also interviewed for one of my company's scholarships, which he won. He won $1,500 scholarship of that. So I wasn't the judge of that scholarship. It was very influential people in Auckland. But through that experience, I think it helped him a lot in knowing how to interview. And that although the Princeton interview, I think, was by phone, he thought it went very, very well. And I think it was a very big deciding factor on whether he got into Princeton or not. And so, yeah, I think interviewing is also very important. And we can help a lot on that. And that I can connect the students of all the other alumni who does interviews in UZM because they're all actually my friends because we all come from the same universities, so we can help in that. And also, yeah, so our company, so we do a lot of services. We offer things like mentorship from year 9 to year 13. We do things like SAT preparation. So our SAT classes are actually really amazing. We currently have 2 students who are perfect scorers, 2,400. Okay, that doesn't happen a lot, even in the real world. Okay, and it's not that they got 2,400 in the first try. It's they started off around with only 2,180. Yeah, and then after my courses, 2 of my courses, they actually got a full score. Okay, so for my courses, my students, around 60 to 70 students took my courses this year, and they averaged 230-point increase just after 12 days. Okay, so my courses have become really popular now, and there's usually a wait list. But if you book early, that's always really good. And in terms of that, I help with the SAT. I also help with the TOEFL, so that's one of my company services. We also help with extracurricular activity guidance, and we also do essay consultation. The thing with the essay consultation is that it is very important in that the universities are looking for an essay that is unique. Okay? And of course the universities, because they've been doing this for a long time, they know when someone else has written your essay, and also the essay is not true. Okay? So because I have 5 years in this kind of experience, I've been doing this for AIC since I was actually still in high school. So every single Chinese student that has gone into Ivy League from AIC, the essays have gone through me. Okay? So what I have understood from the essay is that you don't need to talk about something amazing. What you need to focus on is something unique. Okay? And the students will not be able to know what to write about unless you ask them the right questions. I know what to ask them so that the students can find something that they love, that they want to really talk about. Okay? And then after they give me a copy, and yes, I do give them constructive feedback, but at the end of the day, the students' essay still has their true voice behind it. And that is what the university is looking for. Okay? You don't want the essay to be edited to the point that you can't really tell that it's the student's voice anymore. That's a big problem that many other places have. As the universities, they can recognize when that essay has been corrected so many times that it's no longer the student's essay. So we help in that we make it match the student's voice to really find out, because that's why we talk to the student so much that we understand what the student is like, so we know what the essay should be like. We also help with interview preparation, yeah, so because we do mock interviews. And then lastly, I think it's very important for especially us Asian families, is the financial aid. We really want to pay not a lot of money to go to America. Yeah. So for places like, so for my students from AIC, they've benefited a lot because AIC actually gives them like $10,000 US a year if they get into Ivy League. And for my services, it's a lot less than that. So that by them using my services and getting to America, they've actually made a profit on this kind of thing. And we focus also on financial aid. So all of my students who have applied for financial aid have received 100% tuition scholarships. Okay, every single one. Why is this? It's because I studied economics and accounting in university. So I actually know accounting really, really well. Yeah, for my company, I actually tell my accountant what to do. So therefore, I know how to make your financial application the best way that it can be, so that you get the most number of aid. So for most of my students who've applied for aid, their parents only need to pay around $3,000 to $4,000. Okay, that's not a lot of money. Is it? Even if you go to Auckland University, you probably have to pay more. Okay. So money is not a big problem for the US. Most families think, oh, it's so expensive, I can't apply. Well, if your family situation is not that great, we can apply for financial aid. We can make sure you get into, because the best universities, they don't really care whether you need aid or not. As long as you're smart, you can get it. Okay? And for the other universities, we can look for scholarships as well. There's also a number of scholarships that I'm in touch with because I contact the universities regularly. Yeah, and so I'm able to basically, recommend students to them almost. And lastly, and most importantly, is that I have a really good relationship with all the school counselors in the high schools. Most of the college counselors, except for IIC, they have no idea what to do. Okay, so that is actually a very big disadvantage because they write the most important recommendation and they do all the transcript of those kind of things, which is, I would say, 50% of the application. So what I do, currently I'm working with counselors with Westlake, ACG, St. Cuthbert's, King's College, Auckland Grammar, AIC, everyone basically, all of the big high schools. I'm working in directly with the school counselors to make the applications as good as possible. No other consultancy, no other place in the world does this, okay? Because what I do is a full package, okay? Because my company has a 100% acceptance rate. I don't want that to decrease. Okay, so I'm going to try the hardest that I can to make sure that is going to happen for your student. But before, I've had such great results, even though I just started from year 12, but I think I have even better results if we start from year 9. Yeah, and I thoroughly recommend students to start thinking about the things that they can do starting from year 9, not starting from year 12 and 13, because that's a bit too late. Yeah, year 9 is the place to be. Thank you. Yeah, so let me introduce a little bit about this partnership that I have with EIE, Epsom Institute of Education. So I actually met James a long time ago, and I've always been, kind of admiring the way that he works with younger students, because his company actually works with students from year 4 to year 13. They've been working in Epsom for 12 years, so a lot of experience. He's helped a lot of students improve from Auckland Grammar, from let's say D or E class into A class. So his organization actually is really heavily focused on tutoring and also really targeted at the Korean community. I think he is one of the better organizations in the Korean community, knowing how not only he's not just wanting to want the students to improve, but also really has the best interest in the students at heart. He really cares about the students and that he really wants them to not only become good at studies, but become better individuals, become better people as well. So that's why when he approached me, he was really interested in how to really develop the extracurricular side. So we've been working together constantly how to shape the lives of young children. Okay, so in terms of Epsom Education, what they can provide is that they can provide tutoring lessons on the lessons that their student is lacking in, and also at the same time they can put you in touch with organizations that belong to my organization and his organization as well, so that they can also have a little bit of leadership skills. So one particular project that James is doing already right now with EIE is called the Yellow Brick Road project, where the students have to translate English articles into Korean. So that is very, very important for university admissions as well, showing that you're taking initiatives and doing something for your community as well. So we have several other projects right now that we're not going to tell you right now, but you can come and contact us, that we're planning that are going to be very effective for university admissions, not only for the US, but for also the top Korean universities as well. Because the Korean universities, everybody is really good at academics now. They're looking for something more. Yeah, lately everybody's gone really well in TOEFL, so they're actually looking more at the SAT scores. They're also thinking about interviews as well, and also, I mean, since James actually graduated from a top university in Korea, he has that insider's experience. He also knows exactly what is needed through the application process. And I know that with my help, James and I, we can kind of create a program that is unique and very top of the industry. In terms of that, I think, yeah, it's going to be very easy for the students in Auckland to get into universities now. And because of our existence, it's going to be very competitive and very tough for other students that do not have that kind of advantage. Yes. Yeah, so a little bit more on the Yellow Brick Road project. So it's actually a collaboration between a lot of different organizations, and it's actually owned by the Good Day newspaper. So it is actually a project that is open to anyone that is interested in it. As you know, to apply to some of the top universities, you need to have really good language skills. And to improve your language skills, not only in English, but also in Korean as well, to show that you're bilingual, are very good. You can send in kind of translations of any kind of articles and publications to the Yellow Brick Road project, and they'll be able to publish it not only in the newspaper, but also in our worldwide channel and our website called Wepu as well. So of course we would want more students, as many students as we can from the Korean, Chinese and all the different communities to go to the United States for university. And so we would like to share some of our secrets as well with the general population. And therefore we are hosting a conference that is open to anyone on the 25th of January at 2:30 p.m. at the Next Generation conference rooms. So during this presentation, we'll be able to kind of explain the requirements for university, what kind of university students should apply to, what's the best strategy to apply to university, and also we can talk about some of the students have gotten in and what their statistics and credentials have been like. But then this conference is actually very limited in space. As you can tell, it will be very popular, so please register and contact either EIE or Ivy Plus as well. The Ivy Dream Tour, Ivy League Dream Tour, is a project that Ipsen Institute of Education, Ivy Plus Education, and HEMA Education has collaborated together to form. It will be the first tour of its kind in New Zealand, even though it's the tour, actually the real tour, the Ivy League tour has been going on for 8 years already, but this will be the first unique tour in New Zealand that's been guided personally by an Ivy League university graduate, me. So we'll be visiting 12 plus universities, so all the best ones like Harvard, Yale, Princeton, MIT, Columbia, NYU, UCLA, Berkeley, Stanford, and so on. And it is 9 days, and we visit San Francisco, Los Angeles, Boston, New York, Princeton, a lot of different other cities as well. The tour is very unique in that we actually make it a really fun experience, in that we not only visit the universities, but we also visit other tourist attractions as well, and we stay at 4 to 5 star hotels. The most unique aspect about the tour is that this is the first time where anyone can actually sit in on a lecture at Princeton University or Harvard University. Okay, so we've actually contacted the university. They've actually allowed us to audit some of the courses there, such as engineering, statistics, social psychology, and history. Another good aspect of the tour is that you'll actually be able to meet alumni and current students from the university as well, to ask them questions directly over dinner or during the campus visits as well. One other thing is that we have a free consulting evening on the tour. And so we are, during the night where we stay at Las Vegas, in the Cosmopolitan Hotel, we actually have a 1 hour consulting session that, it's only going to be around 20 to 30 students, and you'll have kind of one-on-one time with me as well on what you should do to maximize your chances with the universities as well. So this tour is currently open to all students from the ages of, I guess, very young, so even in primary school, and until very old, so until 17 or 18 years old. So I guess if you're under the 12, we recommend that parents come as well. Parents are very welcome to join. The activities that we do will be very fun, and you will not have a single second where you have nothing to do. So everything has been planned. It's a very rigorous schedule. We go everywhere, and it is formed in conjunction with Hana Tours, and so there is actually a lot of discounts involved. So if you were to do this tour yourself, it will cost a lot more than what we are charging.